Okay, welcome everyone. Let's start with your favorite part of the day, the thing that makes everything better, the simultaneous sigh. All you have to do is take a deep breath of all of this beautiful air. Not all of it, just a little bit of it. Take a deep breath. All you have to have is courage, goodwill, good faith, honor, learned optimism, any virtue will do. Take your pick. Take a deep breath and let it out. Sigh in synchrony with me. 3, 2, 1. Ah. There you go. So we'll start with our usual meditation. Start by rocking back and forth in order to feel where our center is. And then side to side. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms, relax your face. Relax your stomach so you can breathe deeply. Deep down into your belly. If any thoughts take you away from the present moment. Simply return. Let go of the thought. To hold yourself in this center point in your mind. That allows you to be here in the present moment. Neither overwhelmed or engaging with thinking, nor drowsy or sleepy. Staying fully engaged with some experiential characteristic of your experience now. Customarily, it's the breath, but it can be sensations on your skin, everything that you can see and hear, or you can focus on a particular sound. Or you can fully feel every sensation on your skin, where you come in contact to however you're seated, depending on your meditation posture. Could be your feet on the floor, your legs, your butt, how your clothes drape around you, where they come in contact with your skin. choose what is right for you to hold your attention on, and fully embrace that sensation, that experience. If you have any discomfort or pain, you can bring your awareness to it. Try in this moment to explore it with non-judgmental curiosity. Fully feel the sensation. Work within and get immersed by that feeling of discomfort. Is there some characteristic of it that you hadn't noticed previously? Can you be present with and in some way despite this discomfort? Notice the landscape of your mind. Observe it for what it is. However your mind is showing up in this moment. Embrace it with gratitude. And then return to the stimuli that's keeping you grounded in the present moment. Mm. So this is my companion to John Vervaeke's After Socrates lecture series. They are intended to be viewed in order. So if you have not watched through all of them, just go to my Mindful Before Meaning channel page, click playlist, and find the After Socrates companion playlist, which has all of the videos in sequence. Hopefully you are mostly finished up with the episode 1 and are also mostly finished with Plato's Allegory of the Cave, Book 7 of Plato's Republic. And at this point, you have committed to following through on the whole lecture series to give it a try. Hopefully you've acquired whatever books you need to follow along with the readings. We left off with conversation between Socrates and Glaucon about these enlightened philosophers living in the common dwelling place with the other citizens. Thus, for you and for us, the city will be governed not like the majority of cities nowadays, by people who fight over shadows and struggle against one another in order to rule, as if that were a great good, but by people who are aware rather than dreaming. For the truth surely is this: a city whose prospective rulers are least eager to rule must of necessity be most free from civil war. Whereas a city of the opposite kind of rulers is governed in the opposite way. Absolutely. Then do you think that those we've nurtured will disobey us and refuse to share the labors of the city, each in turn, while living the greater part of their time with one another in the pure realm? Is it possible? It isn't possible, for we'll be giving just orders to people. Each of them will certainly go to rule as to something compulsory, however, which is exactly the opposite of what's done by those who now rule in each city. This is how it is. You can find a way of life that's better than ruling for the prospective rulers. Your well-governed city will become a possibility, for only in it will the truly rich rule, not those who are rich in gold, but those who are rich in wealth that the happy must have, namely, a good and rational life. But if beggars, hungry for private goods, go into public life, thinking that the good is there for the seizing, then the well-governed city is impossible, for then ruling is something fought over, and this civil and domestic war destroys these people and the rest of the city as well. That's very true. Can you name any life that despises political rule besides that of a true philosopher? No, by God, I can't. But surely it is those who are not lovers of ruling who must rule, for if they don't, the lovers of it, who are rivals, will fight over it. Of course. Then who will you compel to become guardians of this city, if not those who have the best understanding of what matters for good government, and who have other honors than political ones, and better life as well? No one. Do you want us to consider now how such people will come to be in our city, and how, just as some are said to have gone up from Hades to the gods, will lead them up to the light? Of course I do. This isn't, it seems, a matter of tossing a coin, but of turning a soul from a day that is a kind of night to the true day, the ascent to what is, which, we say, is true philosophy. Indeed. Then mustn't we try to discover the subjects that have the power to bring this about? Of course. So what subject is it, Glaucon, that draws the soul from the realm of becoming to the realm of what is? And it occurs to me as I'm speaking that we said, didn't we, that it is necessary for the prospective rulers to be athletes in war when they're young? Yes, we did. Then the subject we're looking for must also have this characteristic in addition to the former one. Which one? It mustn't be useless to warlike men. If it's at all possible, it mustn't. Now, prior to this, we educated them in music and poetry and physical training. We did. And physical training is concerned with what comes into being and dies, for it oversees the growth and decay of the body, apparently. So it couldn't be the subject we're looking for. No, it couldn't. Then could it be the music and poetry we described before? But that, if you remember, is just the counterpart of physical training. It educated the guardians through habits. Its harmonies gave them certain harmoniousness, not knowledge. Its rhythms gave them a certain rhythmical quality, and its stories, whether fictional or nearer the truth, cultivated other habits akin to these. But as for the subject you're looking for now, there's nothing like that in music and poetry. Your reminder's exactly to the point. There's really nothing like that in music and poetry. But Glaucon, what is there that does have this? The crafts all seem to be base or mechanical. How could they be otherwise? But apart from music and poetry, physical training and the crafts, what subject is left? Well, if we can't find anything apart from these, let's consider one of the subjects that touches them all. What sort of thing? For example, that common thing that every Memnon, if indeed he didn't know how to count, didn't even know how many feet he had. What kind of general do you think that made him? A very strange one. If that's true, then won't we set down this subject as compulsory for a warrior so that he is able to count and calculate? More compulsory than anything, if that is, he's to understand anything about setting his troops in order, or if he's even to be properly human. Then do you notice the same thing about this subject that I do? What's that? That this turns out to be one of the subjects we were looking for that naturally leads to understanding, but no one uses it correctly, namely, as something that is really fitted in every way to draw one towards being. What do you mean? I'll try to make my view clear as follows. I'll distinguish for myself the things that do or don't lead me in the direction we mentioned, and you must study them along with me and either agree or disagree. And that way we may come to know more clearly whether things are indeed as I divine. Point them out. So I think at this point we have gone through all of the discussion on the allegory of the cave, and now they're moving on to this conversation about how to educate their guardians in their city to be both warriors and philosophers and cops and statesmen and so on and so forth. The ideal leaders in their ideal city. So I'm going to start going through episode 2 in the series. I've added another member of the John Vervaeke community, someone who I've spoken to before, has done their own guided meditation audio for meditating along with the simple meditation practice, similar to what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it my own way, talking us through it from memory. That's on the playlist, so feel free to use that as a guide for any meditations that you do where you want to listen along with someone. Okay, I think that's good for today, and I'll see you next time.